Hey gang, so this week I am reviewing Nips handles from Dark Monk, a prop making company that is based out of Salem, Massachusetts. I first encountered these actually back in November when I went to Boston to work with Chad on a series of myth-busting videos. He showed me kind of one of the prototypes of these and then was kind enough to send me a set of them to review back in December. So let me give you the what, where, when on these. So clearly they're kind of similar to palm grips. It's the same idea in terms of it's a flexible silicone handle that is soft and grippy, and clearly meant to be a little bit easier on the hands than say PX3 knobs are, the hard injection molded plastic handles that are usually found in the end of juggling clubs. The big thing that they change is that number one, there are these high ridges near the crown of the handle that are there to kind of improve the grip on it. And secondly, there's this little flute that comes off of the end of the handle. The theory behind this, as I understand it, is to try and minimize contact between your skin and the tether of your poi, because as we all know, one of those things that tends to happen when you're starting up spinning is you're going to wind up developing calluses along your fingers from contact with the tether, right? So let's dive into the good and bad of this. So the good is that having played with them for a little while now, I can absolutely verify that the flutes do protect your fingers. If you either have really delicate skin and are prone to developing, to tearing open your skin as you're playing around with poi, especially things like, say doing one-handed poi where you have the tether in contact with that skin between your ring finger and your pinky, these are a huge help. Actually, right after I got these, I had just ripped open a callus in between those two fingers. And I found, even though I still had the kind of open wound, that I was able to use these, and I was able to get just a little bit of use back out of it. That there was no pain involved in that, which is awesome. They also address what is probably my biggest problem with the palm grips, which is that the way that they're shaped and the way they handle kind of those grip ridges on the side of them, they tend to get very, very slippery when your hands are wet. This is a problem if you perform a lot with them, of course, because your hands tend to get sweaty when you're nervous. Mine do, definitely. And these ridges along the crown of the handle absolutely address that. It puts the grip exactly where you need it for those kind of situations, which is lovely. Now the bad parts. So while it's awesome that the flutes protect your fingers from the damage that your tether might do, there's a reason that tether is in contact with your hands, and that's the point of control for it. Especially in a one-handed kind of place, if I have that handle in between my fingers like this and everything, you'll note it shifts the point of contact about a half an inch away from my fingers. If I'm used to controlling the plane of my poi directly between those fingers, there's a little bit of an adjustment that has to happen there. It's not an impossible adjustment to get through, but the first time I did it, it really put me in a mind of imagining I was spinning wearing a pair of very, very thick gloves, where it was kind of a process of adapting to what that would have to be and everything. The other issue is, and when I first saw these, the first question that popped into my mind, of course, was how durable is that little flute going to be? And I will say that having played with them a couple months now myself, I have been unable to tear them. That said, I have seen photographs of other people on Facebook that have managed to tear them. It seems like most often the way that happens is if there is a swivel that is mounted inside of these, and that it is the contact with the swivel that eventually is what starts to tear the flute apart and everything. So, yeah, overall impressions, they're a good product. If your skin is prone to those same kind of calluses or being torn open or what have you, if you have delicate skin, these are not a bad investment. Also, they're good for stage work and everything because of the grip on them. The flute is definitely something that I'm going to be looking at in the coming year. And again, I've only been using these a couple months, so I have no idea if you're not using a swivel what kind of abuse they take in that regard. So the big question, of course, are these an improvement on palm grips? And I'm going to say that it's more of a step to the side than a step forward. There are certain problems that these solve, but there are other problems that kind of pop up as a result of it. So I'm going to say that this is another equally viable option to palm grips, but not necessarily a replacement for them. But yeah, anyways, you can find these on the Dark Monk website. I believe it's dark-monk.com. And yeah, these are Nips by Dark Monk. So Chad and Adrian, thanks for sending a set of these for me to play with. And yeah, for all you guys out there, I hope this was helpful. Peace. This video was made possible thanks to the kind contributions of these folks right here. In addition, special thanks to Sean, Prisna, Kiro, as well as Andrew Hammond and Ben Reynolds. Thank you guys so much for making these videos possible. If you've enjoyed these videos or learned anything from them, please consider making a contribution at drexfactory.com/support. Help me to keep on making these videos that you love. Thanks.